Hey folks, it's Joe McD here, taking you on a trip down memory lane. Today, we're diving deep into the history of one of America's most iconic automobile brands, Packard. From its humble beginnings in Ohio to becoming a symbol of luxury and innovation, the Packard story is one of ambition, excellence, and ultimately, bittersweet decline. So, buckle up as we journey through the eras of Packard Automobiles. Our story begins in 1899, in the small town of Warren, Ohio. Two brothers, James Ward Packard and William Dowd Packard, along with their partner George L. Weiss, founded the Packard Motor Car Company. They were driven, pun intended, by a desire to create a car that was reliable and luxurious, something better than what was already on the road. The very first Packard, the model, rolled out in November of that year. It was a modest vehicle by today's standards, but back then, it was a marvel of engineering. The Packard brothers weren't content with just making cars. They wanted to set the standard, and set the standard they did. By 1903, Packard moved to Detroit, Michigan, the epicenter of the burgeoning automotive industry. Here, they introduced the 12, a model that set Packard apart as a luxury brand. By the 1910s, Packard had established itself as a leader in the automotive industry. Their motto, "Ask the man who owns one," became a symbol of the brand's quality and prestige. The introduction of the Twin Six in 1915, a 12-cylinder engine, revolutionized luxury car performance. This period marked the beginning of Packard's golden age, where owning a Packard wasn't just about having a car. It was a status symbol. As the Roaring Twenties took hold, Packard continued to innovate. The 1920s saw the brand at the pinnacle of luxury and style. Cars like the Packard 8 became synonymous with elegance, and the company thrived, catering to America's elite. The 1930 seconds brought challenges for everyone, including Packard. The Great Depression hit the luxury market hard, but Packard managed to weather the storm by introducing more affordable models like the Packard 120. This car was a hit, and it kept the company afloat during the toughest economic times. Packard's ability to adapt during the Depression proved their resilience. They never compromised on quality, and their reputation for building reliable, luxurious cars remained intact. When World War II broke out, Packard shifted gears, quite literally, to support the war effort. They produced aircraft engines, including the famous Rolls-Royce Merlin engine under license, which powered the legendary P-51 Mustang fighter plane. After the war, Packard was riding high on this success. The late 1940s saw Packard returning to car production with a bang. Their post-war models, like the 1948 Packard Station sedan, were celebrated for their sleek designs and advanced engineering. Packard was back, and they were bigger and better than ever. But the post-war boom didn't last forever. The 1950s were a tough decade for Packard. The rise of other automotive giants like General Motors and Ford, coupled with poor business decisions, led to financial difficulties. In a bid to stay competitive, Packard merged with Studebaker in 1954. Unfortunately, this merger didn't bring the success they hoped for. Despite some innovative models, like the Packard Caribbean and the Predictor concept car, Packard struggled to find its footing. The brand's final years were marked by dwindling sales and a diminishing reputation. The last true Packard rolled off the assembly line in 1956, and by 1958, the Packard name was no more. So, what happened to Packard? Well, even though the company faded away, its legacy lives on. Packard cars are still celebrated at car shows and in museums, cherished by collectors and automobile enthusiasts around the world. The name Packard still evokes a sense of innovation, luxury, and American ingenuity.